and once you're in, there's no way out. The French said we had to fight, but out here, in the middle of this jungle madness, you don't even know who's your friend and who's going to stab you in the back. Everything is a blur, just like your ex's red flags that you ignored. And this ain't just a war. This is a mission so cursed, even the devil himself would say, nah, I'm out. The beginning of madness. The movie kicks off brutal as hell. It's 1959, smack in the middle of the Algerian War. No time for introductions, no soft opening, just straight-up executions left and right. French soldiers line up some Algerians, but let's be real, they're not rebels. They're freedom fighters, trying to take back what's theirs. 3 prisoners, 3 bullets, 1 sick game of Russian roulette. Now here's the kicker. One of them, Morad, decides to spice things up by spitting right in the face of the soldier handing out their death sentences. Bro, this dude had 0 survival instincts. Meanwhile, the unlucky guy on the right loses the draw. Bag over his head, hammer to the skull. Game over. At this point, I'm sitting there like, damn, are we still in the opening scene? Now it's between Morad and Walid, our second unlucky contestant. Just as Walid is about to get executed, he panics and yells, wait, I have information. Classic betrayal move. Snitch mode activated. But before Walid can sell his soul, out of nowhere, boom! The Algerian resistance storms in like a last-minute plot twist. See, Morad? He ain't about that forgiveness life. As soon as the dust settles, he puts Walid down like a sick dog. No hesitation, just bam. One less traitor in the world. Now we meet our main guy, Paul Andreas Breitner, a battle-hardened French soldier. He's seen it all: bullets, blood, and betrayal. This dude is so experienced. War is probably scared of him. But guess what? He's retired. No more guns, no more war. Just peaceful mornings with his stunning girlfriend, Soa La Yang. And Soa? Oh, she's not just any pretty face. She's Hmong. If you don't know, the Hmong people got tangled up in some secret war in Vietnam, helping the U.S. disrupt enemy supply routes. Basically, they were America's unsung allies in the Vietnam War. One fine day, out of nowhere, a military officer knocks on Paul Breitner's door. You have to find Captain Simon de Liniers. Dead or alive, doesn't matter. Just bring back whatever's left of him. Now, de Liniers isn't just some random guy. He was Breitner's war buddy. And the cherry on top? The one pulling the strings is none other than de Liniers' mother, a big shot in France. Rich, powerful, and the type of lady who gets what she wants. Breitner, of course, ain't having it. Hell no. I'm retired, done with this war BS. But oh ho ho, Mommy Dearest plays her trump card. Refuse this mission and your little girlfriend Soa, she's getting deported. Damn, that's some next level emotional blackmail. Breitner has no choice. Mission accepted, and just like that, he's on a plane to Algeria, diving headfirst into a war he swore he'd never return to. Building the team, aka the dysfunctional suicide squad. Breitner knows one thing. He can't do this alone. This isn't some sightseeing trip to Algeria. It's a death trap. The place is crawling with Algerian freedom fighters who would love nothing more than to add a French soldier's head to their collection. So, he needs a squad. Not just any squad, the kind of people who can take a punch, kill without blinking, and, most importantly, not chicken out when things go south. Enter Senghor, the soldier with a conscience. Kinda. First recruit. Senghor. Dude's locked up in military prison for murdering his own commanding officer. Why? Well, because his CO ordered him to kill a kid. And Senghor? He ain't about that life. Was it worth it? Breitner asks. Senghor shrugs. Nah. The kid still got killed by another soldier anyway. And guess who had to bury him? Me. With his parents. Damn. That's dark. Breitner raises an eyebrow. You in? Senghor sighs. As long as I don't have to kill any more kids, sure. And just like that, he's in. Martelat. From cleaning toilets to spilling blood. Next up, Martelat. This guy's been stuck on janitor duty, scrubbing latrines all day. If there's one thing he's sick of, it's the smell of shti. So when Breitner walks up with a job offer, Martelat doesn't even hesitate. Hey, want to join my team? Anything to get away from this damn toilet. Breitner, ever the straight shooter, warns him. You follow orders, or I put a bullet in you myself. Martiat grins. Cool. As long as it smells like blood and not crap, I'm in. Boom. Another recruit. The lieutenant, with a god complex. Meanwhile, somewhere else in this mess, Lieutenant Terrail is being an absolute clown. Dude's rounding up Algerian prisoners, forcing them to sing the French national anthem. One guy spits in his face. Respect. Terrail, obviously not a fan of free speech, snaps. If you won't sing, then you'll all die. And just like that, he orders a full-on execution. They really thought he was in a musical, but forgot the happy ending. Meet Aissa, the bomb squad specialist. Literally. Breitner isn't done yet. Next, he tracks down Aissa, a prisoner with one very specific skill set, blowing tea up. His dad was also an explosives expert, which explains why the battlefield is basically one big minefield. But, surprise, surprise, Aissa wants nothing to do with Breitner's mission. So, what does our dear Paul do? He plays dirty. Join me, or I kill your mom in Tunisia. Damn, Breitner. That's some villain-level manipulation. Aissa sighs. He knows he's got no way out. Fine. But if I see an opportunity, I'm out. Breitner smirks. Fair enough. But first, mark all the landmines you and your dad planted. Aissa gives him a look. You really think I'll do that? Breitner laughs. Well, unless you want to watch me and the rest of my team explode into tiny French pieces, I'd suggest you start marking. Wouldn't a metal detector be easier? Breitner shakes his head. These aren't metal mines. Aissa's old man was a genius. The shells are made from ceramic and clay. Inside, shattered glass and TNT. Metal detectors are useless. Martia. Oh, cool. So we're walking through a giant death maze. Nice. And so, the mission begins. Carefully clearing the path through the minefield, the team moves forward. But just when they think they've caught a break, they reach a village under attack. But not by the French. Nope. By Algerian bandits. And these guys, they're not here for money. They're not here for war. They're here to slaughter and have fun doing it. All the adults? Dead. The only ones left? Children. And these sick bastards? They're keeping the kids alive for entertainment. Senghor, who's really into protecting kids, totally loses it when he sees this massacre. His blood boils, man. Without a second thought, he starts taking out the raiders like it's nothing. Some of the kids who survived were saved in the process. Meanwhile, Breitner is chasing down the raiders who tried to escape. Straight up savage, bro. Some of the raiders get shot over and over, while others get their necks and spines snapped like twigs. Breitner, who's just watching this whole mess go down, can't help but comment. You got a knife, man? Why not use that? Quicker and more humane. Martiat, cold as ice, replies, killing Arabs doesn't need to be humane, boss. They're not even in my dictionary. Yeah, no surprises here. So, one of the kids who survives this nightmare is Sahida. Don't worry, she's not just a background character. She's going to play a big role later on. After all this madness, Breitner and Soa sit down for a chat about their next moves. Soa asks, so, when all this is over, what's going to happen to Aissa? Breitner, as cold as ever, replies, she's a prisoner of war, Soa. She's going back to military detention. Soa, pissed off now, says, at least she has a mother. I have nobody left. Breitner, completely emotionless, just shrugs and says, her mom's dead. Died in Tunisia. Our intel agents had a lot of questions during her interrogation. Soa, absolutely furious, snaps, so you're lying? You promised you'd help her, and now you're just using her. Breitner, with a stone-cold expression and zero remorse, shoots back. She's the enemy, Soa, not my family. So it's not my problem. Ouch. Yeah, Breitner's using Aissa like a pawn in his game. On their way, they find the body of a French soldier who's been set up in a salute position, but wait for it, he's naked, covered in blood, still holding the salute. That's messed up, bro. Artistic, yet terrifying. Aissa just smirks when she sees it. Meanwhile, Morad's team enters the village that was just slaughtered. and they find the surviving kids, including Sahida. When they ask her what happened, she says, "Our village was raided by Algerian guys, and then the French troops came to save us. They take the kids to a camp for Algerian freedom fighters. But on the way, Sahida starts to collapse from exhaustion and her legs hurt. She asks for a break, but Morad's crew isn't having it. No stopping in dangerous territory. Sahida gives them directions to the camp, and they leave her by the river. But then, guess who shows up? Breitner. He finds her resting and grabs her to use his leverage to get info about Morad's camp. Sahida's just a kid, so she can't really fight back. Breitner plans to use her as bait to blow up the camp, and for a while, everything goes as planned. But then, out of nowhere, Breitner's team gets ambushed by Morad's forces. Breitner's cornered, but he's lucky he brought Asa along. Turns out, Isa's actually Morad's niece. So Morad promises not to hurt her. Talk about tension, huh? Once they reach the camp, Senghor gets handed over to Yusuf, an Algerian fighter. Now, Yusuf's got a major grudge because he thinks Senghor is the one who massacred his village. But Morad, sticking to his word, steps in and holds back Yusuf's rage. Then, plot twist. De Ligniers, the guy Breitner's been searching for, has switched sides and is now fighting for the Algerian Liberation Front. De Ligniers looks at Senghor and asks, "Did you really do all the things Yusuf says? Did you kill his kid and 2 of his nieces?" Senghor, cool as a cucumber, responds, "Yeah, I've killed plenty of people over there, but I never touched any kids." De Ligniers, without skipping a beat, gives Yusuf the green light to execute Senghor. Afterward, De Ligniers orders Yusuf to bury Senghor, but Yusuf, all fired up, says, "Why the hell should I bury him?" De Ligniers calmly replies, "Remember when your village was slaughtered, and the French troops buried all those bodies? Well, now you do the same. At least bury him." Yusuf, still pissed, grudgingly buries Senghor. Now, Sahida, heartbroken, is crying over Senghor's grave. Asa walks up to her, and cold as ever says, "Stop crying over a French soldier. They've killed so many Algerians. If you want to cry, cry for your parents and the people of Algeria who've died." Sahida, all innocent, responds, "But it wasn't the French who killed my parents. It was other Algerians." Asa just shuts up, walks away. Kids, man. So naive. Back at the camp, Breitner is having a serious chat with De Ligniers. "Why the hell did you betray France?" Breitner asks. De Ligniers answers, "I didn't betray France, bro. Algeria is France. Just look at Yusuf. He's got a story to tell about what he went through." Then, Yusuf starts sharing. "I was an Algerian fighting with France at Monte Cassino and in Indochina. I was loyal to France. And what do I get? My village gets destroyed." De Ligniers adds, "Yeah, I did switch sides. But if I die here, at least I'll die on the right side. You think France is better? They don't care about our religion or culture. So yeah, I'm not fighting for people like them anymore." Breitner couldn't handle it. "You should know, man, when we signed up for the military, we were taught to leave our feelings at the door. We just follow orders, no time for personal emotion. You've been in Indochina, remember? Why didn't you use your feelings back then?" De Ligniers fired back, voice raised. "Back then, I was fighting for my country, bleeding for France. You? You were just fighting to get French citizenship. So, tell me, who's the real disgrace here?" Breitner just froze. He was caught off guard. Didn't expect that burn from De Ligniers. Then De Ligniers pulled out a necklace from his pocket and said, "I know why you're here. My mom wanted a token of my death, right? Take this necklace to her, and she'll be happy. I'll help you in Soa, but you have to promise me you'll bring this to her." Breitner hesitated, but eventually agreed, even though he wasn't fully sure about De Ligniers' intentions. Oh, and we almost forgot. Martiette's still out there, doing his thing. The guy's a sniper with zero chill. One by one, he picks off Algerian soldiers from a distance like it's a game. Meanwhile, back in camp, Asa and Morad are having a little reunion. Morad looks at Asa, his grown-up niece, now all beautiful and grown up, and says, "I can't believe how much you've grown. You look so different now. How've you been?" They hug it out, like they haven't seen each other in years. But then, out of nowhere, Morad asks, "Does Breitner have anyone else with him?" Asa shakes her head. "Nope, just him." But Morad's not buying it. He starts grilling the kids that Breitner rescued. One of them mentions a guy with a tattoo on his face, and boom, Asa is suddenly labeled a traitor. They tie her to a pole. Now, Breitner's about to leave when he sees this, and he's like, "You seriously doing this to your own niece?" Morad, totally chill, says, "There's no mercy for traitors here, even if they're family." Breitner and Soa have no choice but to leave Asa behind, much to their frustration. Then, as Breitner and Soa are leaving the camp, out pops Martiat. He shoots Yusuf dead, and then asks, "You just gonna leave Isa like that?" Breitner, sarcastic as ever, laughs. "Oh, I thought you loved it when Arabs are killing each other. Why do you care so much about her now?" Martiat shoots back. "I don't care about her, but this is about morals, man. Isa helped us, and now we're just gonna leave her hanging?" Soa, agreeing with Martelat for once, says, "Yeah, we can't just leave her." So the three of them decide to try and rescue Isa. The battle is intense. Here's a quick rundown. Isa's about to be executed by Morad, but just in time, Breitner shows up ready to throw down. Deligniers and Morad are shocked to see him. Breitner's all in, trying to free Asa. Martelat, ready to shoot, fires a warning shot at Morad to stop him from being reckless. Deligniers doesn't sit idle. He orders Morad to release Asa. As Asa starts walking towards Breitner, suddenly, Deligniers shoots Asa. Breitner, now boiling with rage, fires back. Total chaos. Soa jumps in. But in the middle of the madness, Breitner remembers something and says to Morad, "I've got nothing left to chase. I called for Central Command to send in napalm. Honestly, dying here feels like a blessing at this point. I'm ready to go. What about you, Morad?" Morad, still hell-bent on freeing Algeria, realizes there's no way out of this. He decides to leave the camp behind and take off, leaving Breitner and Soa to fend for themselves. In the end, the two groups part ways, each with their own mission. Breitner, Martiat, and Soa head back to France. To shadows. The war may be over, but is it really over? Or is it just lying in wait, ready to drag us back to the front lines? Not all soldiers return home. Some come back carrying wounds you can't see.